Hi, I'm Jimmy Ali, and welcome back to Young Daddies, where we get to talk to raising fathers about fatherhood. So, how are you? So we can still start off by saying introduce yourself.
So my name's Emmanuel, 31, originally from Hackney, now live in Quay out on the west side. For work, recruitment consultant, play American football as well, and I run a media company, and we've got a few things out there. Hard to leave, check it out.
Where? Check it out where? Give a little shout out.
So you can check us out. We're on YouTube at the moment. We've got a few more things coming. If you check us out on our Instagram pages as well, I'm sure you'll be able to follow up to date with everything that we're doing at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since this is Young Daddies, tell me more about your family dynamic and your kids. How many have you got? What their names?
Yeah. So I've got 2 girls. One's called Noemi.
Noemi?
Yeah.
Is that like an original? Where the name come from?
That's what my mum named her. Yeah, no, because her mum, she's sort of Ivorian, so it has like a little French and stuff. Well, I'm Ghanaian.
Okay, but your mum's Ivorian?
Yeah, her mum's Ivorian. My first daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
She's a little je ne sais quoi and that. And then my last daughter, her name's Alani Ura.
These names are beautiful.
Yeah, I want them names there that when you see their CV, you say, wow, who's this person?
No, they're nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one, she's like 2.5, gonna be 3 soon. And then my youngest is just approaching 10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So like they're fairly still young.
Yeah, still fairly young, all in nursery, sort of thing. So yeah.
So what's the family dynamics? Like you and mum, or?
Yeah. So obviously I've got two girls. Yeah. And I've got 2 mothers of my children. Yeah. My first daughter, they live in Leeds as well. So obviously it's a bit hard to obviously see them, especially during the whole pandemic and everything like that. Just try to stay as present as I can on there. And with my youngest, I'm in the house with the mum and everything like that. So it's pretty good.
You mentioned sort of being present. Do you notice a difference between like your first daughter and your second daughter in terms of like how you interact with each other?
There's a difference obviously because there's more familiarity with my youngest daughter. Obviously she's a baby, to be fair, but I can tell that obviously the love and the connection's there when we're there, and it's she obviously knows who I am and stuff like that, so it's always good. Yeah.
Okay. How was your relationship with your father? How that sort of dictate how you want to go forward with your kids?
Yeah, so like for my dad, growing up wasn't really around, to be fair. I think the first time I met him, I was like 22, something like that. Yeah.
First time you met?
Yeah, first time I met him. Maybe I met him when I was a kid or a baby, I don't know, I can't remember. But we have a really, really good relationship.
No.
Yeah, to be fair, it was never bad. I just didn't know who he was. Obviously he was out of the country and we didn't really have that kind of, sort of connection as well. But, sort of ever since he's been back, it's just been cool, like, to be fair.
Okay.
Spraying it, it's like kind of like a friendship sort of thing. Father's Day soon as well, and invite him around to come to my house and stuff like that. So it's really good, and he's there and he's supportive in any way that he can be. Yeah.
So do you go to him for fatherly advice or whatnot, or do you have other people you go to for that?
To be fair, I don't really ask for advice. I'm a kind of, sort of figure it out yourself kind of guy.
The provider.
Yeah, the provider. I just get the job done, to be fair. But in terms of, sort of advice and you know, sort of personal development. I just draw what I can out of the environment around me.
Yeah.
So I'm always learning from, you know, sort of other people, learning from, you know, sort of the things that you watch, things that go on, conversations, topics, everything. So I use that to try and, you know, sort of develop myself and push myself forward. So yeah, I don't really find myself sort of going to any one particular person and saying, have you got any advice on this? I might, in conversation, I might, you know, sort of ask them what they might think on a topic, and take that into consideration when I'm moving forward. But I think I've got kind of like a broad perspective on life and the situations that I find myself in. Yeah.
So for the first like 22 years of your life, you're just you, your mum, and
yeah. Well, family dynamic's a bit weird, to be fair. So obviously I've known my mum, but I spent a lot of time with my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time. I probably spent more time with my grandma, living with my grandma, than I did with my mum. Yeah. So it was just like, it was usually like me and her, and then when people come round and visit, because obviously everyone comes and visits her, then I see them, to be fair,
Did that affect how you what family dynamic you wanted with your sort of children? Like, did you want to be with your partner to have that sort of strong nuclear unit, or it's just like, how
No, you know what, I feel like the nuclear unit is a social construct, and it's what people perceive as what a family should be. But I'm a very strong believer in, you know, it's the village and the community that raises the child, you know. So I'm very big on community. There's not a particular way that I envision family should be, as long as it works, it's functional, and it's not toxic. If you get what I'm trying to say. And I've always said, when I speak to anybody, I want my kids to you know, sort of be free, open thinkers, make their own decisions, find out about life, you know, for themselves as well, and always be there to keep an eye on them and make sure they don't go too far off the edge, but just let them discover themselves for themselves and work out what they want to do, who they want to be. So, yeah.
So what do you fear for your kids growing up? Like, what's the main thing that, you know, like...
What am I afraid of? I think there's two things. I wouldn't say like it's a fear, but you could put it as like an insecurity. I just feel like, from my side, being able to keep up with, you know, sort of all their needs and giving them the best opportunities that they can have in life. So I've just got to be on point to be able to facilitate that. But also another thing is boys, man. I don't think they should have any boyfriends until they're 35.
How were you when you were younger? How were you when you were younger? Were you active early?
I was I was a normal guy. Like, whatever normal guy was doing, that's what I was doing. I was it. But you know what? I feel like, it's a little bit unreasonable, but I think I'm just like worried about that, to be fair.
Protective.
Yeah. But I think that's like a natural thing as well, because like I grew up as well. I have like loads of sisters as
How
well.
Sisters have you got?
So I've actually got 5 sisters.
Okay.
5. But I grew up with like 4 of them. Like kind of like very protective.
You're the only boy out of 5?
Yeah. And so, from my mum's side. So there's 5 of us from my mum's side. And I'm the only boy. And my dad, he has another boy and a girl. But I'm protective over all of them as much as you can be as an older brother, because I'm older than all of them. Obviously I've got a twin. I'm 1 minute older than her, still older than her. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like they all got their heads screwed on, so I kind of just allow them the freedom to do what they want to do and make their choices as well. So I guess when my girls grow up, it'll probably be the same thing as long as I just trust their decision in terms of what they're doing and stuff like that. So yeah.
You mentioned that you have sort of, I'd say, separate siblings, like on the other side of your dad. How has that sort of affected how you want your family dynamic to be? Like, do you want to continue to have, like, say, more kids with different women, or it's just like you're trying to have?
Well, I mean, look, obviously I'm in a relationship now. I don't want to say.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because you say like you see that as that, you know, end all and be all. But I feel like the way it is now.
Yeah.
I just like it the way it is now. I wouldn't try and add like more seasoning to it.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like you know, sort of being in a relationship at the best of times is challenging. Yeah, and then whereas you add more people where you're, you know, sort of connected to and stuff like that, to manage all of that is even more.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to put more energy into doing that when I could put more energy into, like, you know, sort of developing myself, pushing myself forward, and able to support my family as it is already. Do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, that's where my mind's at.
How has the mindset transitioned from being like a lone wolf to being a father? What are the main things that you can sort of pinpoint?
I feel like the first feeling is feeling like you've got something to die for, and also feeling like you've got something to live for at the same time. You know, because you've got something that you would obviously want to protect and whatever, but you know that, okay, I've got to kick it in gear a little bit, and all my energy is focused to making sure that they've got what they need. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so I think that's the only thing. I'm pretty much the same guy, like jokes, whatever, doing silly stuff, doing all the things that I would do usually before, but it's just that obviously I have that thing at the back of the mind that I think it just makes me more clinical. Yeah.
Were you mentally prepared? Were you mentally prepared to be a father? Or is anyone?
I personally feel like, and I've seen it over the years, I don't think anyone's ever like ready, like mentally or whatever. I feel like when you're in a situation and it's happening, you become ready. If you understand, I don't think there's anything you can train for, and obviously I'm still quite fairly new as well. I suspect there'll be like loads of different challenges as well, as, you know, sort of they grow and develop and show themselves. I just don't think you can ever really fully be ready, you know.
So describe a low moment for you.
Say that again?
Describe a low moment for you so far as like being a new dad.
A low moment. It's not. Okay, so with my first daughter, obviously when, you know, sort of things broke down with her and her mum and stuff, and that relationship wasn't the best that it could be, or as healthy as it could be, I feel like it affects in terms of that connection that you have with my child, because it does affect, you know, when things are going on and stuff like that. So I think I'll describe that as a low moment, but I just feel like I'm responsible for all the relationships that I have in my life. And if I value those relationships, I've got to do whatever I can to make them what they should be. So I kind of take that responsibility on myself, and just make everything as best as I can.
Do you learn from that sort of the toxicness to not want to bring that into your new relationship?
Well, it's a different situation, but you never really want to bring toxicness anywhere. But as human beings, we're dealing with so many different things, so many different issues, that sometimes we're triggered by stuff and it just happens, you know, but we've got to understand what our triggers are, you know, sort of what our spouse or partner's triggers are, and try and find a way to navigate through everything. I think one of my main focus now is just, you know, obviously being as patient as you can with the next person, and I think everything else kind of falls in line, you know. I also feel like a lot of people put certain expectations on relationships or parents and stuff like that, and then we just forget like these people are actual people,
Yeah.
like ourselves, just figuring it out. You know, and I always want to, you know, think about what my values are and what I value in a person rather than what I expect from them.
Okay, yeah.
Because when you expect something from someone, that's an ideal in your head that sometimes doesn't match up with reality, you know, and when that doesn't match up, there's a kind of a rift, and a struggle, and you're never really happy with them and they're not happy with you. But when you just value like just little things and stuff like that, you just appreciate it more genuinely. Yeah.
So what are the 3 lessons you've learned so far, like in this time, that you want to sort of share to your peers who are new fathers or soon to be?
I'll say just be easy, be flexible.
What does that mean?
Just be flexible, be patient. Like situations always won't be what you expect it to be. But just try and sit back and allow it to play out for what it is. You know, I'll say be as present as you can be in the moment, in the time, in conversations as well. I feel like sometimes people, when we're having conversations, we listen to respond. We listen to reply. Like we have like a reply set in our head. We want to say, we want to get our point across, but we're not listening to actually understand what the other person's saying and creating a response to that and building a healthy dialogue. I don't know. To be fair, just have fun, innit? Have fun, innit? Yeah, enjoy life. You know, and if you're not enjoying it, just think about like what's not enjoyable about it for you, and try and see if it's something that you can remedy. To be fair, or something that you can voice to the people that are around you as well. So, that's it really.
What things have changed majorly for you since having children?
I feel like I'm not out as much as I used to be, nor do I want to be, you know. I like just rather be at home.
With your kid?
Just be at home, be around, and you know, sort of like watch them grow and develop. Does
that bring you joy in the same way?
Yes.
Or just differently?
Well, personally, for me, like one of my like joys in life is just watching people grow and develop. Anyways, you know. And if I can add to that, then I'm happy. If not, doesn't really matter. I just get to see the growth and development, and with kids, like you just see how they grow and develop, how they explore the world around them because everything's new to them. You know, and one thing about my daughter that's 10 months, like, I mean, you can do certain things to her and she will laugh, but she won't always give you that same response. She won't always laugh. Sometimes if she's not in the mood, she's not in the mood, you know, and you just say, okay, cool, you know, but you can see like she's developing her own personality as well, and it's really nice to see, you know, so, Are
you ever conscious of like, sort of the divisions of time with like your 10 months and is it?
Oh, what, like, well, she's 2
like, 2.5, like going to Leeds to go with the other daughter and then being with the current one, the current newborn?
Well, I don't think about the divisions of time because obviously I'm going to spend more time with my young one because she's with me, but I am always conscious of obviously how things develop in terms of, you know, sort of going up to Leeds and stuff like that, which I don't think I do as much as I should. But it's all about, you know, sort of practicality, how often, you know, sort of I can go up and, you know, sort of do these kind of things as well. But, you know, I'm just hopeful that, you know, as time progresses, that will become, you know, sort of more easier. They might be, you know, sort of a halfway point where we're able to, you know, sort of work something out so that I can be like more physically present. You
mentioned presence again. Can you define that for me? What is being present?
Being present is being there. Both in mind, body and spirit. Well, both, boy, all of it. To be fair, just being there, you know, and being accessible. Well, just being there and being accessible, you know. I feel like, as long as I'm in the environment, whatever comes up. I can't really tell you exactly what I would be doing or whatever, because even still, there's stuff that I do and I'm not there.
Yeah.
You know, but just being just there. You know, if like she needs to play, if she needs to speak to somebody, if she.
Is that a conscious thing that goes in your mind to always want to be present and active when?
Well, yeah, like in everything, I always want to be like present, be there. You know, enjoy the moment, not be thinking and being anxious about what the future is or overly going over what the past was. You know, because I think the present is where you make the future. So the presence is the most important thing. Yeah.
So what support do you think that government or people around you need to provide more for fathers in terms of paternity leave or funding?
Yeah, I feel like with paternity, because at the time of having my last daughter, I actually tried to take paternity leave. Yeah, and obviously you get 2 weeks. Yeah. But I think they were saying like my work wasn't going to pay anything. It was just the government, which is like £150 a week or something like that. I was like, what is this? Yeah, so I decided, because I had a lot of holidays, I don't usually take holidays to be fair. I had a lot of holidays, so I just ended up taking like holiday for like 2 weeks to be fair, and I feel like, there should be something in place where obviously there's more support there. Because obviously I could take holiday, but what if other people weren't able to take holiday, needed to take the time out, and stuff like that. And also I think like 2 weeks is probably a little bit too short as well. But the time that I did have, like it was nice, to be fair.
Is it something you would fight for? Like going and
petition? Yeah, 100%. I feel like obviously in this country, I'm not sure about other countries, I feel like fathers have the responsibility of being a father, but they don't have necessarily the same support. Yeah. And I feel like the systems and powers that be, when things break down in a relationship or whatever, the men are looked at in a negative light. And it's probably not even something that is said, but in the way when you're dealing and speaking to other people, it's not really a nice feeling. And I've spoken to a lot of guys that, you know, sort of obviously going through, like older guys who are going through divorces and stuff like that and going through certain things. And when it comes to the kids, they're at a, you know, sort of like a heavy disadvantage there. But I feel like that's all come from basically the history of how those certain establishments came to be in terms of like obviously women needing more support and stuff like that. But I feel like now, in this time that we live in, and it's a little bit different.
So maybe need support.
And sometimes there needs to be a little bit more support, maybe on the financial side as well, but also, you know, sort of on the mental side as well. Like, I know, like, we live in a time now where everybody's, you know, sort of big on, you know, sort of mental health, and I feel like people go through things as a man that you need to obviously, you know, sort of speak about, get off your chest, or just understand what those problems and what those things that you're feeling are. And if that support is there, you know, sort of as a new father, I think that would be good, because I think a lot of people do go through like kind of anxiety, especially of like being able to provide, like something that I've said earlier in the conversation, like thinking, you know, I need to do what I can to make sure these guys have got what they need.
So you sort of laugh at the word sort of the word provider. So what does that mean to you exactly? And how did you sort of strategize? How am I going to provide? How am I really going to do this without it feeling like too much pressure?
Look, how do you make more money?
But then practically that just happens to get more jobs, or is it more hours? I'm looking for a better job. How am I doing that? And did you look for support in how to make that happen?
So I work in a job that's, you know, sort of commission based anyways, so it's based on the output and the things that I, you know, how much money I can make the company. So I just...
Was that your first thought, like financially? How much
So I always think about, that's always in the back of my mind. Yeah. But this has been my job from before.
Yeah.
I've had them, you know, and I think everyone can, you know, sort of, like everyone knows that, you know, you have a job, and then your expenses rise. You're thinking, oh man, I can't do this, I need another job. Yeah, but I've always been fortunate where the more I do at work or the longer I stay there, I'll get paid more money. Yeah. But recently I've moved jobs like twice. Yeah. And I think the main deciding factor was I was getting paid like more money.
Yeah.
To be fair. And it's just to keep up with like the expenses.
What expenses, like nursery fees and...
Yeah, like nursery fees, everything, food, like maintenance, like just like pretty much like everything, and also to maintain like the lifestyle that I kind of want to live and the things that I want to do, and if I want to do a course and stuff like that, so I'm able to sort of do all these things and strategize and stuff like that, and and then put obviously money away for their futures as well. So
did you seek out like other dad friends who are, you know...
No.
Is there a reason for that, or are you just like, no, you're not?
No, but I just do what I do, to be fair. You know, I don't really talk too much about what I do, I just do it. Yeah.
Really, to yourself and...
Maybe
to yourself and private then?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean like my friends, people that I'm around, actually, no, they may not even know my mind, but they can see what I'm doing, what I'm going through and stuff like that. But yeah, I just get it done, to be fair. Don't really want to talk about it, I just want to do it.
Great. How has parenting been during the whole pandemic?
I think...
Both of your first daughter and...
Yeah. I think it's been different both ways. Yeah, I think it's been good in the sense that it's allowed me more family time, allowed me to be at home more rather than obviously at work and travelling and stuff like that. So that's been good, and I feel like companies are more, you know, sort of open to, you know, if you're on a, you know, sort of a Zoom call or something with a client and baby's running around or screaming or on your lap, like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but then at the same time it's been harder because being able to obviously travel and go across distance and feeling like it's safe. For my first daughter, it's just been a little bit. It's been hard. I think during the whole pandemic, I could count on probably one hand how many times I've seen her. Yeah, and that's been going on for about over a year now, sort of thing. So that's not really great, is it?
How does that affect you?
Like I always feel, because I'm not there that much, it just makes me feel, will she remember me? Does she know like who I am? Does she know that I'm her dad? Obviously later on she's gonna know. Yeah. But does she know now?
It's a crucial time to like,
you know. And obviously worry about like the bond, like really, you know, sort of being there. But at the same time I like to pride myself on being able to build relationships. So whatever the state of it, I feel like I could, you know, recover it, but I don't know, are there some things that you can't, you know, sort of recover a relationship from? Yeah, so it's just little things like that, to be fair, Okay.
What support do you need to make your job easier?
I think what probably will make it easier is just having, you know, sort of an infrastructure around, family around, that can help with childcare, to be fair. I think being a father, at most times, I'm not sure if I can't speak for everybody, but at most times I feel like it's a natural thing. Like you just kind of like know what you need to do, and it's nothing like overly special. Yeah. You know, child's crying, find out if they're hungry, you know, change them, make sure they've got clothes, you know, like, well, at this stage that I'm at, it's very like based on their immediate needs, you know. I think after, like as they grow older, other challenges might present itself, but I don't know what kind of support I'll potentially need then to be able to deal with those things. But I just gonna treat them like people, not like kids.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think main thing probably like childcare support, because it's quite expensive, to be fair.
You mentioned treating them like people and not like kids. What does that mean?
Not like, like traditionally there's that saying, kids are meant to be seen, not heard, and stuff like that. And like, yeah, I'm the adult, you're the child. Don't speak back. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. No, I just want them to be able to have like open conversations about things, what they're feeling, what they're going through, what their wants are.
Yeah.
What they don't like. So that I can always be on top of sort of what's going on in their lives, because I see so many things like that go on social media. Like child grooming, this, that. And like the parents are not able to know. I wouldn't say not because they're not speaking to them, but because maybe the child doesn't feel open to express certain things to them, and they're using another outlet where they can, speak to someone or feel loved and stuff like that. I never want, sort of my kids to be vulnerable to that.
So how do you keep that in check and be aware of that sort of process?
Well, just be there, be open, let them know that, obviously they can chat, just really be cool and not try to be like, you shouldn't do that or whatever.
So not imposing your views and your ideals on your children.
Yeah. So for example, like my little daughter, I'll be like, do you want a kiss? Yeah.
I
don't force her. If she's like shaking her head or saying no, then I just like leave her. Do you understand? Because I want her to understand that consent is important. Even from a very, very young age, and just kind of trying to cultivate these kind of things, so that she grows in that. But there's only so much you can do when they're that young.
Does also include faith. Like, are you religious, man?
I wouldn't say I'm overly like sort of religious. But yeah, whatever faith they want to believe in, whatever they want to do is up to them. To be fair, like I want them to discover and find that where they sit. Because I feel like in regards to faith, religion, I feel like life's a pilgrimage. And at different parts of your journey, you're gonna go through different things. You're gonna be in different places. And to really be present with that pilgrimage, you have to go through it. Do you understand? You have to feel every part of it. You may change, you may discover different ideologies, but you're gonna come back to what is the source anyways. So just really being sort of open with them about that and allowing them that ability to obviously explore as well. I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but I agree with being an explorer.
You're a girl dad. How is that?
Something like that. Oh, that's what they said.
How do you see things more openly and differently now? So like you said, you were younger, you were somewhat active. Do you see the mistakes that you've made and how you don't want your daughter to go through the same sort of thing?
I don't know. I wouldn't say like mistakes I've made and I don't want her to go through the same things. I think the most important thing for me is making sure that they have all the opportunities just to be who they want to be, and that's it. But they need to make their own choices, make their own mistakes, because they can learn from them. I do believe there's some mistakes you don't need to make, because you've got it, sort of written. Someone can tell you whatever. But if they do make them, then they make them. It's their life, in a sense. You can't overprotect them or over, wrap them in bubble wrap and stuff like that. They just got to go out and live it, So, that's it.
Seeing as you have daughters, are you mentally prepared for when they become teenagers?
I don't think I'm ever gonna be mentally prepared. Because at this stage, you're still working out what kind of person they want to be. you know. Yeah, I think like the whole thing with like boys and that. I don't think I can hack it. I don't know. I might be able to. I might be a better man than I think I am. But I just don't really know or have the answer to that really. But I don't think I am mentally prepared for that now. But as I said, I don't think you're ever ready. You just become ready. So maybe in the time I'll know what to do.
No, that's beautiful. What's one fundamental, thing you would want soon-to-be fathers or young fathers to know that they need to sort of pattern before their newborn comes?
Yeah, I would say just always, and I think it can work throughout the whole of fatherhood, just maintain a really good, positive, healthy relationship with their mothers. Yeah, I feel like for me personally, when things weren't great on sort of both sides, it really like affected, sort of the relationship that I had with my kids as well. And even just like something as small as having a certain kind of negative thought towards them, like it really affects. So if you can, just because I know things will always pop up, not everything's always going to be rosy, but just try and maintain, the most healthiest and positive relationship that you can, and I think you'll definitely be fine.
No, that's beautiful. Thank you, Emmanuel, so much for coming. Sounds like you've got a great relationship with your daughters, and I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.